Welcome to the $4 billion makeover happening at one of Europe's busiest airports. Situated in Germany, Frankfurt's International Airport is getting bigger to handle more people. Over 800 companies are working together to create a brand new terminal, making it one of the biggest building projects in Europe. But you might be wondering, why did they bring in special underwater workers for an airport? Stick around as we reveal the detailed plans, check out how far they've come in construction, and find out when the new terminal will be ready for takeoff. Welcome to Superstructures. Frankfurt, a contemporary city known as Germany's financial hub, boasts the country's largest airport, making it a key international gateway. Positioned southwest of the city center, this airport is not only one of the busiest globally, but also holds the record as the most interconnected, offering flights to a staggering 330 destinations. With 2 primary passenger terminals and 4 runways, it spans an area nearly half the size of Manhattan. Before delving into the intricacies of its construction, let's explore why this massive airport expansion is happening. The origins of this $4 billion upgrade date back to the previous century when the airport's popularity surged, necessitating continuous expansions to meet the growing demand. During that time, the 2 existing terminals could handle up to 54 million passengers annually. However, by the 1990s, it became evident that this capacity would eventually fall short. This realization gave birth to the concept of a substantial expansion in the form of an entirely new and massive terminal. At its peak expansion, this new terminal would accommodate an additional 25 million passengers each year. The chosen location for this expansion was the southern part of the airport, replacing a former American base that closed in 2005. Following approval from local authorities, an architectural competition was initiated, culminating in the selection of a design characterized as modern with a feel-good ambience. After years of meticulous planning and navigating through legal process, the concept of Terminal 3 materialized in 2015, marking the commencement of construction. The implementation was envisioned in 3 distinct phases. The initial phase focused on the core of the project, encompassing the construction of the main terminal hall, 2 piers, H and J, a new apron tower, and all the associated infrastructure. The subsequent phases, involving the construction of piers G and K, were designed as expansions to the initial phase and would be executed based on the demand from visitors after the terminal's anticipated opening in 2026. The completed Terminal 3 promises a unique and accessible experience for visitors. There are 2 primary means of accessing the terminal. The first involves arriving by car, utilizing an 11-meter high and half a kilometer long drive-in platform conveniently situated in front of the departure hall gates. To accommodate the influx of cars, an 8-story parking garage with a capacity of 8,500 vehicles will be constructed. The second option involves the Skyline, a driverless double-track system connecting the airport's train station at Terminal 1 to the new terminal in just 8 minutes, providing a seamless public transport option. Upon arrival at Terminal 3, visitors will enter the main terminal hall, which is designed with 3 distinct zones. The first zone features a spacious hall with 2 floors, with the upper floor serving as a departure hall directly accessible from the drive-in platform, while the lower floor functions as an arrival hall. The second zone encompasses the security check area, leading directly to the third zone, a futuristic marketplace and lounge. The interior design of Terminal 3 aligns with the chosen architectural theme of a pleasant ambience, focusing on enhancing people's waiting experience for their flights. A key element contributing to this experience is the wavy reflective steel ceiling, designed to create a distinctive shifting effect using daylight. The main building is directly linked to 4 piers, each uniquely designed. What sets these piers apart is their modular construction, allowing for flexible extension by adding more sections as needed. Each pier will feature a slightly different interior design while adhering to the overarching vision of comfort. The question remains, how far along is the project toward completion? Since construction began in 2015, the project has seen significant advancement. However, by 2018, the annual passenger numbers were rising faster than anticipated. It became evident that the airport's capacity would soon reach its limit, necessitating modifications to the initial plan. The decision was made to prioritize the construction of Pier G over the main terminal building. This approach allowed Pier G to function as a standalone unit, providing immediate support to the airport by increasing its capacity by over 4 million passengers. With construction focusing on PRG, rapid progress was made in bringing it to fruition. Despite the unexpected changes and the impact of COVID-19 on aviation in 2020, causing a significant drop in passenger numbers, construction work continued as per the revised plan. This resulted in the completion of PRG in April 2022, with preparations made for its modular extensions. While the urgency lessened due to the pandemic, construction progress continued. However, due to the ongoing recovery from the pandemic, Terminals 1 and 2 are currently handling visitors efficiently. Consequently, PRG has been temporarily halted, lacking most equipment, and its opening is now scheduled for 2026, aligning with the other piers. Nevertheless, substantial progress has been made in other aspects of the project. The infrastructure surrounding the terminal is gradually taking shape, with 10 kilometers of new roads, access and departure ramps, and the nearing completion of the drive-in platform and parking garage, which is partially open for construction workers. Turning attention to the skyline, its track is operational and has successfully undergone its inaugural test ride. The main terminal building, with its exterior completed, presents a finished appearance from the outside. The skeletons of Piers J and H have been installed, and the external work on these structures is advancing steadily. Additionally, the apron tower, incorporated into Pier H, already stands at a commanding height of 70 meters, overseeing the terminal's operations. Achieving such remarkable progress came with its fair share of challenges for the construction team. During the excavation of the underground sections of the main terminal building, the workers encountered a distinctive problem. As they delved deeper, they reached a depth where the soil was entirely saturated with water. This led to water flooding the site, eventually forming a small lake. To prevent further flooding, the team had to stabilize the bottom of the pit with concrete before pumping out the water and repurposing it later. This intricate task required specially trained industrial divers equipped with purpose-built suits to dive to the bottom and oversee the concrete curing process. Facing another challenge in the construction of the main terminal building was the task of creating its roof, spanning an area equivalent to 2.5 soccer fields. The initial strategy was to hoist it as a single piece using 2 cranes, positioned on opposite sides of the building. However, with the construction of PRG in front of the main hall, there wasn't enough space to execute this plan. Consequently, the construction team opted for a more time-consuming alternative that demanded precision. The roof had to be divided into 5 pieces, each individually lifted onto sleds as part of a supporting structure atop the building. These sleds then transported each section of the roof to its final position, a process that ultimately took more than 6 months to complete. Addressing the challenge of achieving centimeter precision using equipment weighing up to 155 tons was a crucial aspect of building the drive-in platform. Additionally, the integration of 90 kilometers of pipe systems into the terminal building posed another significant hurdle. Despite these formidable challenges, construction has progressed remarkably smoothly and has adhered to the planned schedule, an impressive achievement given the scale of the project. Upon its opening in 2026, Terminal 3 is poised to have a substantial impact on both the airport and its surroundings. With an increase in capacity by an additional 19 million visitors annually, expectations include a rise in traffic alongside reduced waiting times. Furthermore, the project will generate numerous job opportunities, supplementing the airport's existing workforce of nearly 81,000 employees. Examining the project's impact on both the economy and the environment reveals certain inevitable negative aspects, a common occurrence in endeavors of such magnitude. The construction and operation of the additional Terminal 3 will undeniably contribute to an increase in the airport's carbon footprint. However, Fraport, the owner of Frankfurt Airport, has proactively addressed environmental concerns in the planning phase of the new terminal. Their strategy includes the implementation of various measures aimed at reducing energy and water consumption. A pivotal aspect of their environmental commitment is the goal to satisfy 85% of the airport's energy demand through renewable sources by 2026. This includes the installation of solar panels on the roof of Terminal 3 and its associated parking facility. The overarching objective is to achieve net zero emissions for the entire airport by 2045. Although the feasibility of operating an airport with net zero emissions remains to be seen. Looking ahead to the future of Frankfurt Airport, after the inauguration of Terminal 3 in 2026, Terminal 2 is slated for a temporary closure to facilitate extensive renovation efforts. During this period, all flights originally assigned to Terminal 2 will be redirected to the newly operational Terminal 3. To manage the influx of additional passengers, Fraport has strategically included Pier K in its plans. Initially conceived to be constructed when required, Pier K would augment the airport's capacity by accommodating an additional 6 million passengers annually. The trajectory of passenger numbers in the coming years will undoubtedly be a point of interest. Notably, the airport has already witnessed a substantial nearly 30% growth in the first half of 2023 compared to the corresponding period in the previous year. What are your thoughts on the upcoming new terminal at Frankfurt Airport? Are you intrigued by the feel-good ambience it aims to create? Share your opinions in the comments below. If you're interested in exploring more colossal construction projects like this, make sure to subscribe to Superstructures. Thanks for tuning in, and as usual, stay tuned for our next video.